I am Undead Matt, and welcome back to my macabre movie mania. Today, we're stepping into one of the most fertile grounds for horror movies. The 80s! I bring you one of the best 80s horror movies. Evil Dead 2. Of course, Evil Dead 2 is a sequel to the 1981 classic, The Evil Dead. But it has sparked a bit of a debate if it is a sequel or if it is a remake. The director Sam Raimi has claimed he has always intended for it to be a sequel, but some things don't quite line up if it is a sequel. I am the camp that it's a remake, adding a little bit more comedy to the original idea. Either way, I think we can all agree it is a fantastic movie. The idea for the sequel to Evil Dead came after Sam Raimi finished his movie Crime Wave and met producer Dino De Laurentiis. He wanted to recruit Raimi to make an adaptation of Stephen King's book Thinner. Raimi turned De Laurentiis down, but they both wanted to work together, so they started to get together the ideas for Evil Dead 2. And on March 13th, 1987, we get Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn.
Dead by dawn.
Dead by dawn.
Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn.
Dead by dawn.
Dead by
Our story starts with King of all men Bruce Campbell reprising his famous role as Ash Williams. He and his girlfriend are heading to a cabin in the woods. I feel like I've talked about this before, maybe. Once in the cabin, the couple are having a grand old time and come across a tape recording and a book. A special book.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Roughly translated, Book of the Dead.
The recording has the voice of Professor Nobi reciting passages from said book. The passage released a group of demons on our world and who want to toy with Ash. They possess his girlfriend and he is forced to kill her. Now this all happens within the first 10 minutes of the movie, getting us right into the craziness of this. After burying his girlfriend, Ash tries to flee but notices the bridge is out and cannot leave, and he has to deal with these demons. It is at this point in the movie that there's not really much plot as it is little gags of the demons playing with Ash, resurrecting his girlfriend, possessing his hand, which he then has to cut off, and then begins my favorite joke of the movie.
Here's your new home.
Get it? It's his hand, and it's a farewell to arms. These guys get it. Eventually, the daughter of Professor Nobi shows up in the movie. She is carrying extra pages of the Book of the Dead, and she teams up with her husband to head to the cabin as it was owned by her late father. On the way to the cabin, they notice the bridge is out as well, and they recruit a hillbilly and his wife to help find their way to the cabin, giving us more fodder for the Deadites. The craziness continues as we find the professor has had the same problems with the Deadites as we hear on the tape, and he turns out he had to kill his wife. And at this point, the wife wakes up from the cellar and begins to torment our team. Fun fact, director Sam Raimi's brother is the one playing the old lady in the cellar.
Swallow your soul.
Now you know. Ash and Anne are then told by the ghost of Professor Nobi that they need to continue reading the book to banish the demons. And as you can see, I have a little cameo in this movie.
Holy Mother of Mercy.
Father?
Annie, there is a dark spirit here that wants...
It was, in my younger days. I'm still proud of my work, though. Upon reading the book further, they find they need to make the demons whole again. That way they can get sucked through a time portal. So they know they need to defend themselves, which leads to the best suit-up montage of all time. Indeed, it is groovy. The team successfully defends off the Deadites and opens the wormhole, sending them into it. Although it also grabbed Ash, setting up the events of the third movie. Evil Dead 2 made $5.9 million on a $3.6 million budget. And although was monetarily a success, initially was panned by critics. But of course, gained a huge cult following and is known as one of the best B movies of all time. Cementing Bruce Campbell as the ultimate B movie actor. And the ultimate man. And the ultimate Ash, and the ultimate. Come on, let's all face it.
Groovy.
And nowadays, people do appreciate it for the great comedy and horror it has together, and all the craziness that it has to offer. Empire magazine rated it number 49 of the top 500 greatest movies of all time. And Playboy rated it number 12 of the top 15 movies where the sequel was better than the original. And yes, this movie is far better than the original. It took what the original did and added comedy to it, being one of the best horror comedies of all time. And one of my favorite parts is there are no rules to the Deadites or this movie, so anything can happen, leading to tons of craziness and effects. Blood shooting out of walls, hands giving you the finger, all sorts of amazingness that makes this movie so much fun. It is some of Sam Raimi's best work, and it shows a lot of his style that we would soon come to love. The Evil Dead franchise eventually continued in 1993 with Army of Darkness. And then again in 2013, there was a remake, which I heard is better than it probably should be. Yeah, it could be. I'll have to check it out one day. Evil Dead has become such a cultural staple that it also has spawned video games, comics, a musical, and of course, the TV show Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which takes place 30 years after the initial Evil Dead trilogy. This is a classic, cheesy horror movie in all the best ways, in some of the best 80s cheese. Not your neon, high-top, sideways ponytail 80s, but the over-the-top, gratuitous violence 80s. Some of the best horror movies came from that era, and this is definitely one of them. I quite enjoy Evil Dead every time I see it, and it has been an inspiration to horror movies ever since. Now, after watching this movie, I realized I love Evil Dead so much that I'm going to have dinner with Saddam Hussein. Because he's evil and dead. Get it? You get it? Those guys get it.
Thank you for watching another episode of Macabre Movie Mania. What'd you think of Evil Dead 2? Is it your favorite of the Evil Dead franchise? What'd you think of the remake? I heard it's not so bad. So let me know in the comments below, and hit that thumbs up if you think this review was groovy. And remember, I do votes for the next episodes of Macabre Movie Mania, so make sure you follow me on Twitter at wizard_Matt to get your vote heard. And also check out these two other videos, they are also very groovy. Thanks again for watching.